morning.
Being real right now. Good morning.
Connor for real.
Oh my God. I loved that movie.
I did too. We talked about it. Go back and watch it. It's a Rock Stars week or
I think
musicals?
So.
No.
Rock Stars?
Yeah, something like that. We watched Pop Star with Andy. I about said Andy Grammer.
Yeah. I think Andy Grammer made a cameo in our discussion that week.
Andy Samberg.
Connor for real.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Not this week.
So this week, I'm freaking drinking the Smooth 7.
Oh.
And I said, what's that one with the 7 shots? And she tells me, and I said, I think I need that. But I didn't realize you can get it in any of the flavors.
Yeah.
So I got my Blondie as a
7?
Smooth 7.
I have yet to try that because I'm afraid. But
do you want to taste it?
No. I'm not afraid of the flavor. I'm afraid of that much caffeine at once for me.
Oh yeah,
because I'm not really sure what that means. Like I'm kind of caffeine sensitive, so
I think I'm the opposite because I'm waiting for some caffeine to actually make me feel awake. Maybe I just don't know what awake feels like. I've gotten more sleep this past month.
Yeah.
Than I ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally in bed by 8:30 and I'm sleeping until like 5:30 at least. At least.
I'm a big proponent of getting all the sleep.
Yeah.
I don't always follow my rules, but like if it was up to me, I would sleep like 9 hours every night.
Yeah. It just occurred to me one night that I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, I'm tired. And I'm literally just sitting here zoning out. So yeah, let's just go to bed.
We'll go to bed and get up and get a Smooth 7.
Oh gosh.
From our future sponsors. I
don't understand people who do that. Like who can just go get their coffee in the morning. Like even if you were getting a coffee on your way to your office, I can't wait that long.
Yeah.
Like I gotta have it.
I have a cup sitting here that I made before you came over just because like I couldn't wait.
I probably had half a pot or more before I came over.
Yeah. Same.
I suck it down. I just suck it down.
It's the first thing I do when I get up is make
suck it down, Joel.
Inappropriate.
Or appropriate. I mean, I really do.
I've heard that about you, Bridget. I've heard that. So I've got a new one today that I haven't tried, which is the cold brew.
Uh-huh.
And I got it with coconut milk and white chocolate because I wanted to compare it to the coffee chain that we shall not speak of.
Okay.
It doesn't taste the same by any means. I think the coffee is very different, but I do like that the cold brew is more coffee than the lattes and the brevets. They don't seem to put very much coffee in there.
Yeah, we've said that before. It seems like it's all milk.
Yeah, it's like a breakfast milkshake.
Oh, it's so good.
You know what they should do though, and I would buy this is have an add-on for like a scoop of protein or something. Oh. Then you're like, oh, I'm getting some nutrition with my 500 calorie coffee.
What if it was like, mix in a raw egg?
Yummy.
Yummy.
But it's good. I like it. It's definitely not, as overpoweringly like sweet and stuff. Their coffee, I would say, is lighter than Starbucks, but Starbucks is like known for it. Oh no! Bleep it out.
S-Bucks.
Mermaids. The mermaid coffee.
The pooping mermaid.
Right, the pooping mermaid, which that's what Starbucks does too. But I've always thought their coffee was a little bit on the like dark burnt side.
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
I had a coworker who for every potluck would show up with one of those big old cartons of Starbucks coffee and all the little cups and creamers and stir sticks and just the whole shebang. And I would just be like, it is not as good as what is right here in the machine.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you trying to say? It's bitter.
It's strong, I think, is why
a
lot of people like it or continue to get it. And when you're making, stuff with a lot of milk and sugar and like things that Starbucks kind of is known for, you do want a stronger coffee.
Yeah.
But if you're just getting like the drip, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Maybe we should get drip from Seven Brew.
Yeah,
just
compare.
a straight ass drip.
This tastes like kind of like the Costa Rican coffee I bought recently, where it's like almost a little fruity.
Okay.
A little more like acidic-y maybe, but like in a good way.
Acidic-y.
Yeah. Bright.
Does that have a K in it? Acidic-y.
Acidic-y.
I want to put a CKY on the end of it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a real word.
I liked
but
it.
But now that I said it,
and
it has a K in it.
Yeah, because I want to spell it. My favorite coffee is Sumatra. And I feel like that one is rounded.
Okay.
It's to me it's smooth compared to Ethiopian coffee. And I'm not dissing the countries, but it has to do with the soil, I guess. But Ethiopian coffee is my least favorite because it kind of has like a sourness to me. Definitely not fruity. But yeah, I like Sumatra.
Okay.
But I just bought espresso roast S-Bucks brand at the store, so I'll be breaking into that only because they were out of Sumatra. But I like a dark coffee. Theirs isn't my favorite. Yeah. All right,
moving on. This week is Ocean Week.
And I'm terrified of the ocean.
Yes, and both of these movies will not help with that situation. They will not. We watched Dead Calm, which I think is 1989.
Yes.
And Deep Blue Sea, which I believe is 1999. So they're 10 years apart.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that fun fact, too. Yeah.
I was thinking Deep Blue Sea was newer than that, but...
I was surprised that Deep Blue Sea is... like the first in a long franchise of Deep Blue Seas.
Yes, and I have not seen any of the other ones.
How much Snakes on a Plane was this?
It was.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I even texted a friend and I was like, currently watching basically Snakes on a Plane, only sharks in a boat. But I should have corrected myself because it wasn't on a boat. It was like an underwater compound. Wendy, why?
Well, I think the backstory is that it was built by the government.
Everything is.
And then they abandoned it. And then this rich guy bought it. Samuel L. Jackson is the billionaire in this.
Oh, he's the guy that bought it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, I should have realized that because honestly, I didn't even ask myself why was he there.
Yeah, it just made sense.
Why was he there? He was because he's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
and as soon as I saw him, I just got giddy because of Snakes on a Plane. So, how many years before Snakes on a Plane was this movie? He's definitely young.
Yeah, I think not too much after this. I want to say Snakes on a Plane is early 2000s.
Okay. Well, because after he's done this, no wonder he said, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then I did read a little blurb about him being like...
2006.
How fun is it to just run around being scared and being dramatic.
Yes. Yeah, this looked like it was probably a fun movie to make, other than the fact that they had to spend so much time in water. That was probably uncomfortable.
There was a little fun fact that I read where there was an accident, actually. All this water rushed in. Mm-hmm. Did you read that one too? Mm-hmm. And the cast basically was swept with the water, and it was completely by accident, but they left it.
Yeah.
And additionally, because it was by accident, apparently they were all a little pissed, but they just kept acting.
Yeah.
That is hardcore. Yeah. Hardcore, man. Stay the course.
There's so many times in this movie where they hold back a whole ocean of water with a door.
Right.
And you're like, no.
You can't even... if your car is sunken, you can't even close
open the door
or open a car door.
Yeah.
You can't open it, let alone close it.
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
you can't run through cornfields without a shirt on.
You just can't.
You just can't.
I get you have to like get over that though, because they do it a lot, and it they keep like the premise, I guess, is these sharks have gotten so smart that they're actually like herding them,
right,
and flooding things strategically so they can get up to the top or whatever.
It's so stupid.
I guess backing up, like a little context for that, if you haven't seen the film, is that it's a science experiment where they're taking sharks and making their brains bigger because they figured out that this protein they think will help cure Alzheimer's in humans.
Yeah.
And so they go too far and they make these sharks like brains like 5 times bigger.
Yeah.
So they're like super smart sharks.
Yeah. Okay.
The freaking laser beams.
With the freaking laser beams. I mean, the whole... Exactly. Let's make smart animals smarter, because we want to use them. And science is always... Okay, yeah. Who's the head scientist of freaking... What is she, a supermodel?
Yeah.
She has almost no lines, and she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Go to hell. Like, you're not either.
Well, she dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
She sacrifices herself, which I thought was very unnecessary. I mean, I guess she used herself as bait so that they could kill the shark. But
I think it was necessary. Like, I think she should have done that early on.
So she was the one sticking the huge metal rod into the shark's brain.
How unsanitary was that?
Unnecessary.
I even wrote that down. I was like, gross. Unsanitary spike and fish platform.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so, like, it's that whole thing, like, if you were to build a factory.
Yeah.
Right. What are the ridiculous mechanisms that you would have? So they have what, drugged the shark and swam and guided it onto this platform where it stays still long enough for them to raise it up like in a mechanic's shop. So that it's so ridiculous.
And it's like one of those endless swimming pools.
Yeah.
So that the water keeps going through its skills.
It's like, okay, the government's building this facility and they're like, we're going to need a shark platform.
Right.
Hydraulics for sure. Endless pool water. Got it. Yeah. Who's the architect or engineer that's just like, we got the best guy in the world for shark platforms. He had it here. He's got his drawings and specs.
Speaking of like hiring people, the guy that's like the fish wrangler,
okay,
the ex-convict,
yeah,
and they keep threatening him with like the fact that he's not going to be able to get a job because he's a former felon, but like. And that's why they hired him, because they thought he would keep his mouth shut. But other than that, why did they hire him?
That's funny. Snitches.
Yeah. Stitched. They're like, well, we can hold this over you. And you won't say anything.
Best.
But like, what qualified him for that?
Because he's the best. Wasn't that in Anaconda too? That whole trope, you gotta have like a catcher.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody who's out to save it and somebody's out to kill it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you do need that person, but like they don't say like how he ever learned to deal with sharks, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he learned it all there.
Grizzly man.
Yeah.
Must I?
But he's like swimming in the tank with the shark. Like,
I think at one point they really were swimming with real sharks. Or one real shark.
Yeah.
And they could only do... Fun fact. This is so sick and twisted. Fun fact is that he really was swimming with a shark in one scene, but that they had to make sure they filmed all of his other scenes first.
Just in case he lost an arm.
And they only did that one once. It would have been, you think the movie would have been huge. It's like actor died, shark bite, filming final scene.
And they keep that in the movie.
Oh, God. Oh, God. No, then
No.
it's a snuff film.
Yeah, the shark bites in this are pretty epic.
Yeah.
The one point where he completely bites that guy's arm off.
Oh, yeah.
Coming out of the endless pool.
Yes.
She wakes up and she's not happy. That there's a rod in her forehead.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yeah. What was that? A dipstick?
Yeah, it was like, I don't understand that part at all. Like, they should just be, they had like ultrasound technology in the 90s.
Yeah.
You don't need to lobotomize the shark. I don't know.
Fucking spike. It looked very unscientific.
Yes, it did.
That's all I have to say.
It was like put there, I think, on purpose as an element of cringe, because it really is like a horror film in many ways.
Yeah.
But
and those sharks were like remote controlled animatronic sharks, and apparently, like, yeah, they did look real, most of them, and they really got the mouth right, and the, like, during that scene especially, where like usually sharks are kind of slow when they're swimming. Fun fact, they never stop swimming.
Yeah, they can't, or they won't breathe,
and they can't back up, except
or be
in
upside
this movie. Because they go, they backed up.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, because your brain is bigger, you figured it out. No, your body's not designed to back up, sharks.
You can't breathe when you're backing up.
You can't do it because you're smarter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, upside down.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Depending on the shark, I know for sure that like great whites, if you turn them upside down, it basically like paralyzes them.
Oh.
They like lose their sense of everything and they just go limp.
Yeah.
Which rarely happens, but I know this because orcas figured it out. And there's like video footage of them like going turning a shark over, getting him to go on his back so that then everybody else can eat it.
Oh, God.
In the pack. And it's like,
God.
Orcas are terrifying.
Wow.
I think we talked about that before. Orcas are wild.
Imagine if that's how, human families ate. They just like...
Not too long ago.
Flip somebody on their back. I say somebody because what?
Hey.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're
it's
still...
It's like cow tipping, I guess.
Also something that is not real, right?
It's not. I don't think it's real. Maybe it's real.
I don't know. Cows are not super smart.
Cows are smart. Cows are smart.
Okay.
Cows are like dogs.
They're not as smart as dogs, in my experience.
Okay, fine. I actually don't have any experience with cows.
All I know is that they get spooked by cats. That's all.
Woo-woo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
Oh, who doesn't? Though I get spooked by cats. My cat's
They
insane.
will run from a tiny farm cat.
My cat's new, kids, listeners. His name is Ned, and he is kind of a dick.
Uh-oh.
Well, he doesn't like Reggie.
Yeah.
Back to this and animals.
Yes.
The bird!
Yes. Okay, first of all...
And who are you going to say?
It's a health code violation. Why does he have a bird in the kitchen?
He's a chef.
With a bird!
Like Ratatouille. Come on.
I would rather have a rat than a bird. Birds
feel
just
like-
fly around shitting on everything. He's gonna get in your soup.
For reals. And, but I love a bird. Some people absolutely hate a bird, but
Same. I mean, that's me. I don't.
I'll tell you something about birds that you might not expect.
Okay.
I had a parakeet, so those are little bird feet. But you get those little bird feet on your finger, they're so warm. I mean, am I wrong? You wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, and it grips you like a little baby. My parakeet would take baths in the sink, so I'd just cup him in my hand and hold him under the water. I mean, not like under the water, but he would just go nuts and take his little baths, and that was the sweetest thing. The end. No. LL Cool J is...
He's one of my favorite parts of this movie.
He's one of my favorite people.
Agreed.
On Earth.
Same.
I can't handle his smile, and ladies do love Cool J.
Ladies love Cool James. I will tell you, this is maybe extreme, part of my sexual awakening.
Oh!
That's a really strong statement. It wasn't that thing, but I just remember like him being one of the first celebrities that I kind of had a crush on.
Oh, yeah.
And he had these, movie or music videos in the 90s that were always very sexy.
Yeah.
And he's a good looking man.
And
I remember being
like a bucket hat.
Oh, like, hello, Cool J is so cute.
He is cute.
Yeah.
Did you wear a bucket hat?
Oh, yeah. I had bucket hats.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were LL Cool J related, but...
No, probably not. I don't,
It was just of the era, but yes, I did have a couple. I went through bucket hat eras a couple times. First in the Blossom era. Oh. Where you would turn one side up, right?
Yeah.
And put a flower on
big
it
flower.
And then the second iteration where they were smaller and... you don't flip it up.
2.0.
Now they've kind of made a comeback because 90s stuff is back. So,
oh my God, she should. If she's still doing Jeopardy, sometimes she should come out wearing one of those hats.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care for the whole science show. What's that show?
Oh, Big Bang Theory.
Science show.
Yeah, it's not.
I just don't watch it, but
same. I'm not. Yeah, I'm aware of it because it's such a cultural phenomenon, but I haven't seen very much of it.
Yes, that I'd like to say that too. I'm aware of it, and I'm aware of young Sheldon because I watch it on mute when I'm on the treadmill at the Planet Fitness. That time of day.
See, it was always the George Lopez show when I was there.
Okay,
my time of day
sometimes Drew
coincided with the George Lopez show.
Okay, back to this parrot. What I put in my notes was who doesn't want a shoulder bird?
I mean, okay.
And it doesn't have a name.
Yeah, it's just bird.
If you had a freaking bird on your shoulder that rode around on your shoulder all the time in your sanitary kitchen.
Right.
I mean, also you can have the stray feathers.
Yeah.
Parrots are notorious for picking at their own shit, especially if they're stressed. That was a very stress-free parrot.
You got lots of snacks because you lived in the kitchen.
Yeah, right. But if you had a parrot like that, it would have a cool name. It wouldn't be bird. But when
it might be bird in another language,
right? When it flies away because it does get scared and he's trying to find it, and he's wading through the water. Oh, bird.
He's like the dad that didn't want the cat.
Oh,
you know those memes. You're like, my dad with this cat that he didn't want. That's LL Cool J with this bird.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know where he got him, but it seems kind of like that relationship. Like he didn't really want the bird, but now he loves the bird.
It's like that little rooster in Moana. Right? Yeah. It's just like, you love it, you hate it. It's just a thing you gotta watch out for all the time. Oh my God. Bird. That bird, I got eaten. But that was part of the best line ever when LL Cool J goes, "He ate my bird." Like, he was best. Right in front of him too.
Yeah.
Jeez. So LL Cool J, I love him.
He had a couple other like cheesy parts where like he's walking through the water and for no reason other than the comedicness of it, there's a Playboy floating.
Right.
And he picks it up and like, even though he's trying to escape, he takes a minute to look at it.
That is classic. It was really funny.
It was.
It was very funny.
And I'm like, who came up with that?
Well, and it could have been his own Playboy because he's still in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I only noticed that he was still in the kitchen because when he basically in water grabs a frying pan that's not even as big as his head. And he's sort of hiding behind the wall. He's going to smack this shark on the nose. But actually, that is how you hurt a shark.
Yeah, that's what you hit him on the nose, it disorients him and they don't.
Right.
Or stops their, like, prey
This is
drive.
a very small frying pan and a very big shark. But that did make me chuckle. But it also made me write, didn't do Grizzly Man any good. That's twice now.
Yeah.
Grizzly Man, in my mind, it brought up Jaws.
Yeah.
And whatever the other thing is, the snakes. And, all of it. It's all coming together. Nothing at all, though, compares to Samuel L. Jackson in his full body wetsuit.
Yes.
Giving that rousing speech, and he's like riling him up. He's like, "You were gonna get him. We're gonna do this," and then boom,
Shark gets
eaten. I did not see that coming. I burst out laughing when it happened. I was like, "No, you don't expect that he's the one that's gonna not make it to the end,
right?"
And who makes it to the end? LL Cool J.
Yes, he does.
He is the best.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's funny, like, how they worked in the preacher part. Like, they call him Preacher as his nickname. And I think it was just so he could, like, rap, basically.
I love it.
Because he's preaching, but it's lyrical because he's a rapper. So he's, like, preaching in the oven, and when he's trying to get out, I was like, he rapping right now?
Yeah,
he is. He's rapping. And then he does, like, that big, like, prayer at the end for them all to get out. And I liked that little element of
Would
it.
you know how to get out of an oven like that? I was like, what is he trying to make it explode?
First of all, I don't think he could have done that because what was the space above it? Like, there would have been.
It was another
there.
oven.
Yeah.
I thought.
I don't know.
I think it was a convection.
Yeah. I would have. I would have taken my chances with the shark and opened the door. I wouldn't have tried to axe my way out of there. Yeah. Because you had to axe, so just get out and axe the shark.
Right? Let me ask you a question.
I don't know. But I'm also terrified of fish, so I can only imagine if I was actually in a situation where the shark is in the water. I don't know what I would do.
Don't like the fish.
They just kind of give me the ick.
I remember when we talked about splash and mermaid sex. We should do that Shape of Water because isn't that like a merman sex?
I don't know that one.
I think it won a bunch of awards, but I think it's like a fish man and a landlady.
Okay. Let's watch it.
The landlady. Make it like a landlord. She's got curlers in her hair. She's going to collect the rent from the fish. That's just his last name.
Yeah. Fish odor.
Fishman. Fish odor.
It's about fish odor and he owns the wharf.
Oh my God.
Crossover.
I want to watch every movie that LL Cool J is in.
Okay. Let's find some more.
This sort of brings up a question I was going to ask you last week. It's a real thinker, so you ready? Okay. If you were to... Okay, I'm gonna reframe this question for today's topic of LL Cool J. Because originally my question was going to be one of those. If you could have a meal with any celebrity, living, dead, blah, 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 who would it be? And that's the traditional question.
Yeah.
What I wrote was, who would you have a meal at Applebee's with? Who would you have a meal at McDonald's with?
Okay.
But wait, now I want to change it up and say, where would you take LL Cool J? Boom.
I want to say like a good barbecue place.
Okay.
Somewhere that makes like, good, maybe like Southern barbecue.
Because you want him to have a good meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also just seems like he eats a lot of protein.
Oh, I bet.
So he probably puts down a brisket.
I bet he likes the sides. I bet he's going to go mac and cheese. He's going to go some biscuits. And what's the brisket?
Brisket's
beef. Good, right? People, I don't eat meat.
Slow cooked beef.
People talk about the brisket. And it's an upper part of the cow because I believe that you can eat it if you're Jewish.
Yes, Jewish are well known for eating the brisket. Yes.
Yeah, because you don't, I don't know things, but I think it's from the chest down. They don't eat that part of the
cow.
I
know they don't eat pork, but
yeah,
I didn't know they didn't eat different parts of the cow.
It's dirty down there. You know, cows are smart. And back to that beef cheeks. I'm doing my eyebrows right now. Beef cheeks.
Ew. Matt and his pork cheeks.
Oh, God, yes.
Shout out to Matt.
Matt, our bandmate, got super excited at a hog roast one time. We played music and then we got to see a head torn apart. Ooh.
Yeah, they had a whole pig splayed out.
I mean, I gotta say, people like that.
I don't, but
it's a very celebratory thing.
Yeah.
Getting married, tear apart a pig.
Roast a pig and tear it apart.
I'm gonna say they probably do that more in our area of the country.
Sure.
Than others, but I'm sure that others do it in certain ways. That we don't, you know, like Cajun or, you know, Southern barbecue, you know.
Yeah.
Or like, I want to think of something stupid. But I can't. I want it to be like light fare. Pork salad.
Ew.
That's right.
I went to like a professional luncheon the other day and it was like bag lunches of sandwiches.
Oh.
And one of them was ham salad. And the lady that was in line ahead of me and then ended up sitting next to me ate ham salad. And I don't know why, but it just was really gross.
Ham salad makes me think of church. Okay. For one. But you said professional luncheon and I was like, what if it was your job to eat lunch?
I would love that job.
We are professional lunchers.
Yes,
it's like lunch. When Romy and Michelle, the businesswoman special.
We should watch that movie.
We should.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
One of my favorites. I think I have it on DVD.
Right on. We have Deep Blue Sea on DVD.
I think you need 2 and 3.
Yes. I didn't know that those existed.
I didn't either until I went looking for this one.
Yeah.
Do you want to any more on that? There's so much more.
There is. We talked about El Cool J. I wanted to talk about him.
I love him.
One thing, I don't think Samuel L. Jackson said motherfucker in this movie.
He should have.
And I thought that was in his contract.
No, come on.
I'm kidding. I'm making a joke about that. But he doesn't say it. But this is post Pulp Fiction. I think that's where he solidified his motherfuckerness, but
well, he certainly had the spirit of that.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
He was kind of like a toned down version of that character in this, though, because he was kind of like, he wasn't the villain exactly, but he was an unlikable character in some ways, because he's the rich asshole that's like,
yeah,
how are you spending my money?
Unlikely.
Yeah.
Rich asshole. Only because we know him as being that kind of, almost like a mobster kind of a guy, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
All right. That was my final thought. We can move on to the other one.
Loved it.
It's a great movie. Highly recommend it. I've seen it quite a few times because it's like Joel's favorite movie, and you can see why.
Joel loves sharks. Mm-hmm. Everything about sharks. And we forgive him for that. We encourage it. Dead Calm is a movie with Nicole Kidman. Mm-hmm. and
Sam Neill. Jurassic Park.
Yes. And the bad guy, Billy Zane.
Sir Billy Zane.
Oh, has he been knighted?
According to Wikipedia, yes.
Oh, why?
Sir Billy Zane. I don't know. He's British.
Is he really?
I think he is something. No, you know what? I think he's like New Zealand or something.
Huh.
Australian?
Well, the other two are Australian for sure.
I think one of them is from New Zealand. So it's when I was looking things up.
Billy Zane.
Yes.
Sir Billy Zane. You like my accent?
Yeah.
So at some point we need to talk about Gillian Anderson because I can't handle it. I don't care. But I don't like her. I don't like her using her British accent. I don't care if she grew up halftime in London. I don't like it. She does something funny with her face. Snitty.
Gillian Anderson. Is that Scully?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Apparently she's British now.
I thought she was. No. Okay.
No.
Yeah, because she's British in Sex Education. Have you seen that?
No.
It's good.
But she was in Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay.
And something else. And I'm just like, why? We can talk about that again at another time.
Yeah, she's not in this movie.
I know, but I would say do other like Australian and British, etc. actors, Irish, do better American accents than Americans do their accents. And why don't we just go with the natural speakers? I don't know. It's just a question. It's just a question.
Talk amongst yourselves and
talk amongst yourselves.
How about if you have an answer to that, you email us. flickinbeanspod@gmail.
Ooh, I love it. We have an email.
We do.
I mean, I knew that. Email us. Yes. Tell us anything.
Email us what you think about accents and also if there's a movie that you want us to watch.
Or a coffee that you want to dare us to order. Ooh,
yeah, go look at that seven brew secret menu.
Yeah.
It'll take you days.
I'll do some, coconut, hazelnut.
All the nuts.
Nut.
Pistachio.
Macadamia.
Oh, they do have a macadamia.
They
syrup.
do.
I wonder how, I don't know. Macadamia is sort of a
nut.
A soft flavor.
It's kind of a creamy nut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soft on the tooth. Ooh, how gross does that sound?
Ew. Instead of being long in the tooth, you're soft in the tooth.
Gross. Gross. It's almost gummy. No, it's a creamy nut. Cream nut. Anyway, speaking of cringy, I wrote cringy more than once.
Ooh.
This movie.
Dead Calm. Did we say that?
Calm.
Yeah. I had never heard of this movie. Didn't know it existed. It was not on my radar, but it is, from the 80s, so maybe it skipped me somehow.
Well, yeah, I don't remember it being in the theaters or even being publicized. And I think I ran across it, back when you had cable and you would just, channel surf. And I recognized Nicole Kidman and I recognized Sam Neill, but I didn't know who Billy Zane was. I was like, ooh, he's cute, but also creepy and very sus right off the bat. And Sam Neill was onto him from the get-go because he asked him a couple of pointed questions about the boat that he abandoned and the engine and the radios, and he just kind of
not buying it.
No, his answers were not that of a sailor.
Yeah.
So there. Fun fact, Nicole Kidman was 19 and Sam Neill was 39.
Ew, she's only 19 in this?
She was only 19 in this. And he said, basically, I kind of have a problem with that. That's kind of weird. But guess who else was considered for the role? Sophia Loren.
Okay.
Susan Sarandon. Michelle Pfeiffer. Cher.
Oh, I would have liked to see Cher.
What do you think? I mean,
I could see any of those people in it.
I could too.
Yeah.
Cher least.
Yeah.
Just because she doesn't seem to go with Sam Neill. And none of these ladies are Australian, but
And it is an
Nicole
Australian
Kidman
movie,
is.
like made in
Right.
by Australian production and stuff.
Other fun fact, Billy Zane was in 2 other movies where he was a villain out at sea.
What are they? Do you remember?
One of them, I think, was Titanic.
Oh, yeah. He's in Titanic.
And the other one, I didn't recognize. I didn't jot down the name of it, but I was like, ha, that's interesting.
He does have a very good, I don't know if it's just like his vibe or his face, but he's very good at like having inner turmoil that you can tell. Like,
oh, yeah.
Is
it's that
under there.
dark, brooding
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
And he said something about Nicole Kidman's bone structure.
Yes.
Ooh.
Your face is fascinating or something like that. Or your face fascinates me. I wrote it down.
I got it. Okay. When I was looking for fun facts, I like to get on the IMDb.
Yeah.
I decided to share with you one of the reviews.
Okay.
That caught my fancy. And the title of the review is "It Ain't a Pleasure Cruise." And it's by Doug Dopke. All right. Okay. I'm going to read it. Maybe not in its entirety because it's very long. Don't you love somebody that just is like very, like, I'm a writer.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm writing a novel and everyone will appreciate what a great phrase turner I am.
If you enjoy that, do you use Goodreads at all?
No.
That is a good one to go on and read people's book reviews because like some people do this almost like it's their job.
Yeah.
They review so many books and they write like really people do it on Amazon sometimes.
I'm very close to someone who does this.
Okay.
And it feels it's his job to review things. And I just shake my head and I was like, why? Why do you even care? Okay. Are we ready?
Okay.
You've got 3 actors. Starts out with a bang, doesn't it? 2 old boats, a big ocean, and 90 minutes to fill. So you better have your ducks in a row. Otherwise, the package is going to sink faster than the proverbial lead balloon. Fortunately, the folks in charge here know what to do, and the void turns into a real nail-biter. Darn near everything but the kitchen sink is thrown into the action, and I may have even seen that float by. Okay, after 100+ reviews, 2 comments might be helpful. So this person has to add their 2 cents to over 100.
Someone else's review.
There are over 100 reviews already.
Yeah.
No, but this person has some important stuff that everyone else missed.
Okay.
Jeez. 2 comments. Okay. First, wait. Note that in the struggle to survive, this is so dumb. Basically, okay. 2 comments might be helpful. Note that in the struggle to survive, Huey's main adversary is not the expected other male. Instead, it's the female. It's not the expected other man. Instead, he spends his time trying her husband tries to keep his head above water. What is that? Like a bilge pump? Anyway, basically he says that it's, oh my goodness, it's the woman who he has to fight. And good thing Hugh's got an eye for her fine-boned head and certain other features. Otherwise, she's a dead duck in the first 5 minutes. Thus, the real contest is a resourceful woman versus an unpredictable man that breaks the long-established convention of combat mano a mano. And this departure, I take to be a collection of a surging feminist movement I take to be a collection of surging feminist movement then making its way into popular screenplays. Right? I roll on that because I call bullshit. When was this?
1989.
1989. Bullshit. Okay. So it was probably a bit of a departure.
Sure.
A surprise. I get that's what this person is saying, but
Yeah. Well, I
just thought that was a very funny fine boned head.
Yeah, it's fine boned head. Is that why? Because I did have this question. Why doesn't Billy Zane just kill Nicole Kidman right off the bat? He could have, but he doesn't. Instead, they have this big struggle. Is it because he wants to have sex with her, or is it because is that what they're trying to say?
I feel like if you're a psychopath, you probably enjoy that.
That's true.
That cat and mouse. Yeah. She's a mouse. He's a cat who wants to have sex with a mouse.
Yeah, so cringy. I think this movie purposely makes you feel uneasy the whole time.
Yes.
It's got weird pacing.
Yes.
And like lots of silence.
Yes.
No background music a lot of times and like stuff like that makes you feel uneasy. I think that's on purpose.
Doesn't just the ocean itself makes me feel uneasy. I mean, you not just, well, yes, the rocking of the boat, without realizing, like you probably, as you're watching it, you forget that it's moving because you're just almost on that boat. It makes me feel very uneasy. I could easily get motion sickness. I got motion sickness in The Wolf of Wall Street. it makes you feel a part of it, which that's great. And yet dead calm. Like the ocean is probably rarely like that.
Yeah, they only experience a storm like the one time. And it's sort of weird. Like the whole premise of the movie is sort of weird. Like, I guess that because they lose a child through a car accident.
Right.
And that's supposed to be the reason they're on this boat.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed all that.
They didn't need a reason to be sailing.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, the people who do that, I don't want to say anything about grieving people,
right?
And what they do or do not do, but seems to me people who go on sailing trips are rich people who like to go on sailing trips.
Yeah,
they don't work or they're whatever. But yeah, you're right. They just didn't need it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Is it to you know why? Okay, this is why. Because they needed to give Nicole Kidman somewhere to dig deep, to give her that resilience and that inner strength fight. Oh, I gave myself shivers. I did, because otherwise, who is she? If she's just a rich lady, young trophy wife is what she really would come off as. Yeah. If she didn't have that.
Sure. Yeah, it does give her character some depth, I suppose.
I thought you were going to say street cred. That's I'll say that. Street cred.
I don't really see Nicole Kidman having a lot of street cred.
She's only 19 in that too. So it's almost like we could say, what the fuck does she know about life? Yeah,
it does also make her like attachment to her husband make more sense. Like, obviously, everyone is going to want to go back and save their husband, but like she's fighting for the only person left in her life. Like, it's a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah.
Because she's already lost their son. And
And how the fuck did they get together? He was probably her doctor.
I don't know. I didn't realize he was that old. I was thinking, man, he's young in this and cute in this movie. Both, there is like a little bit in my mind anyway. I was kind of comparing like Billy Zane to a Sam Neill. Like, which one would you rather date?
Yeah.
And it's like, Sam, they're both attractive, older than her.
Right.
But like Billy Zane is like the weird artist guy who like wears a sarong and he's mysterious. And you're like, oh, he's kind of thing. But then Sam Neill's the one that can like jumpstart a boat.
He can take you to Jurassic Park. That's baby.
Right. He can wear a fedora and not look like a jackass.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like, I like that sarong image versus some cargo pants.
Yeah.
And shirtless, Billy Zane. Gosh, it's hard. That's hard to say. Yeah, I mean, you would almost want a little of each.
Yeah.
And be like, you know how the Mormons, no, that the certain sect of Mormons who like plural wives.
Oh, yeah, polygamy.
We could have plural husbands because it would be nice to have like, you know, hang out with or don't hang out with the handy guy on the weekend. Actually, don't. Because the handy guy would do the chores on the weekends. Yeah. You'd be on purpose, plan the schedule around it so that he's doing household repairs. Then on Monday, you can reward him by like, okay, tonight you're cooking me dinner. And I will let you sleep over here. Draw me a bath. Right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's definitely like, I've said this before, like, I think it would be kind of fun to have a sister wife. Not really, but just like another woman in your house that's like, you know, helping you with things and like you know, I don't really want that, but I see the appeal.
So, no, here's what I get you. And here's the appeal is we all want a personal assistant.
Yes, we do.
Because you need one, but we don't want to pay y'all. So we're willing
to share our husbands.
To share a room in the house. Or maybe you live in a camper in the backyard. But really what you're going to do is you're going to help cook and clean and do errands.
So what we really want is a slave. But we can't say that.
Yes.
Because that's not cool.
Yes. And when the husband's in a bad mood, she stays here and we go to Target.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. But really, we all get our own rooms.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's how to sleep better.
True.
We love sleep.
We do.
You know.
Yeah. It could work out. Multiple husbands is the same way.
Didn't the Jersey Shore kids have like a special room for like making out?
Yeah.
Where they'd all be in there at once? Gross.
Yeah, that was weird. There was also like in some of the real worlds.
It's so weird.
They would have like their private room and then there would be like a group room with a couple of beds in it that would have a camera in it.
Gross.
And so like if they were hooking up with someone, they would take them there. And I'm like,
that is just raunchy. Yeah. Gross. So gross. Voyeuristic. I mean, that people like that.
One of my notes is this movie really wants you to stay tortured.
I like that. That's good.
It just keeps like, you know.
It is. It's very tense.
Yeah. Also, I hated every time that the dog would go in the open water.
Ugh.
I was just convinced that it was going to get eaten by something.
Poor dog.
But it didn't.
It would be so weird to have a dog on a boat. Mm-hmm. I would want that. I mean, if I had a houseboat, I would want to have a little dog and then I would have a little grass patch.
Yeah.
I kind of want that anyway on my balcony.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go downstairs. Like, no, you just poop here.
I've always wondered, like, could you train a dog to, like, go in your bathtub? It's just not their ideal, like, surface because it's kind of slick probably, but
the little turf thing that's on the balcony has this little plastic fire hydrant on it, and it's got pheromones in it. And then they also say like you take the poop and you put it on the turf for a minute, like
get the scent.
Yeah, and then so that just encourages the dog to use it.
This reminds me of okay, so I spent like a close to a year living in LA, and I used to work. One of my clients was a bar in West Hollywood, and every time I would have to go to this bar for a meeting, I'd have to walk past this like dog station, and it was just like a piece of astroturf on the sidewalk with like poop bags right there, but yet people like the bags are right there. It's a very small piece of grass, but people would still like not pick up after their dog there.
That's
and
so
there would
rude.
just be like shit
Why?
on this turf and the bags are right there, and you're just like, people suck.
That's what it's like in the city.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, also it never rains there.
Wow.
So the streets are very, very dirty because it just doesn't get washed off.
Oh.
So like if you wear sandals, your feet will turn black and stuff like that.
Gross.
So, yeah.
Wow. Says the girl who doesn't know what cities are. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm rural.
Well, you live in a city now.
I live in a somewhat of a city.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like that. We have grass.
Yeah. Well, LA is a desert, so grass
Yeah.
doesn't grow there unless you're really keeping up with it. It's funny because, like, the way that LA is set up, like Santa Monica Boulevard goes through West Hollywood, and then it like immediately runs into Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And as soon as you get into Beverly Hills, everything has grass.
Because
they can, yeah, it's very
Right.
like lush, and they can water it, and it's weird.
just like Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vegas has water? What?
No.
Well, they
have
do.
they have a little like mini Italy where you can ride a gondola
Yep.
in Vegas. Little
They have dancing fountains.
True. Have you there's a documentary about people that live in Vegas that live in the water tunnels underneath the city. They have
homeless people.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have like whole like cities under there because it rarely rains.
Right.
So they just live in the drainage
Yeah.
underneath the city. It's pretty wild.
Is that where you stayed when you were
Oh, yeah.
living there?
Yep.
No. That's bizarre. What a world under the world.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew? They do.
They do. So we're, I don't know. I think you and I are not living on boat people probably, but
No.
definitely not tunnel people.
No, I'm terrified of the ocean.
Yeah. I have I'm not scared of it, but I definitely have a healthy respect. And certain things do freak me out. We went to Mexico a couple of years ago, and the beach there was beautiful, and it was very like shallow for a long way out. Like it was like 3 feet deep for a long way. You could really get out there. So the fish were around us, and the water was clear enough I could see them. But only when they would get within like 2 feet of me could I see them. So I just kept like screaming, and I didn't want to be that girl that was like,
No.
fish.
Same. It's me.
And one of the girls was with me. She's like, they're not going to hurt you. I'm like, yeah, but they might touch me.
They touch and they will put their mouth on you.
It was just, I didn't want to be afraid of them. I knew they weren't going to hurt me. They were like angelfish. And they were kind of cool if they weren't swimming around my legs.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like mossy stuff, and you'd step in that, and I was just like convinced I was going to step on something that was in it.
Did you have the water shoes on or
No,
barefoot?
Barefoot.
See, and then you feel things like bones loose from whence they came.
Yeah.
Ugh, I do have some water shoes now. But for other dumb reason, for water walking in a pool. But anywho, I have delicate feet. I don't want to go in an ocean without them now because of touching things.
Yeah. I don't like how the sand gets in your shoes, and I can't stand that. So.
What about the thing where you put your feet in at the spot and the fish eat your,
I could not do that. No way.
What if it was like part of what is it called? Immersion therapy?
Oh yeah.
What if you were just like, you're in a straitjacket.
It might help me.
Yeah. How do you think you would?
Do you think if it would help me get over my aversion to fish, I'd be willing to try it?
Okay, close your eyes and imagine. Okay, you've just had a nice meal with LL Cool J. And the two of you
go to have fish
roll up your pant legs.
Well, LL Cool J is the one that used to just roll up one of his sweatpant legs.
Okay, so you're gonna just start
do
with
one.
Okay, you're gonna start with one. You're side by side and in the pool, and his music is playing.
Okay,
softly,
doing it
well. Yes. You put your feet in together. You're just one foot. And then maybe there's no fish.
Okay.
Maybe then there's one. And it just squiggles in. It coming at you.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I
don't. But the littleness of it makes it a little less scary.
It's gonna come right for you.
Yeah, they're like minnowy kind of fish, right?
It's gonna attach.
Do they attach?
Well, and
they
just to take a little bit of skin.
I bet that feels wild.
Oh, I bet I could use it.
Oh, I definitely could.
Sometimes when I really use it,
I'm waiting to get a pedicure before I go on when I go on vacation.
Yeah.
But my feet need it, and I need to come in.
Do you ever put your foot in the bag and that makes your skin peel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to need that.
I need something too. Summer feet. Let's go find. It's not legal in the U.S. to get those minnow things. I don't think minnow pedicures. I think you got to go international for that.
Okay, yeah. One of those things you go to Thailand for. Just kidding. That's yikes. I just watched the Jared.
I was just going to say, what are you, Jared from Subway?
Jared from Subway. Oh, still in prison, guys. That is great. Probably getting his ass kicked every day. He's getting sandwiched, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, by a foot long.
A foot long or two.
Yeah.
A veggie delight and a turkey sub.
Okay, if prison groups, traditional prison cliques were Subway sandwiches.
Which one would I be in?
Which one would it be? Like white supremacist, I feel like they're like a ham sandwich.
Not a turkey. It's a white meat.
True.
Pork is the other white meat.
Yeah.
That's so racist. Come on. Now let's go by the crimes.
Okay.
Murderers would be.
Okay. I think a murderer would be something like a meatball sub.
Meatball sub.
It's messy and kind of bloody.
Yeah. Oh, that's gross.
What would a child molester?
Oh, so gross.
We already know he eats at Veggie Delight.
Yeah.
He's told us.
This is so bad. This is so bad. He already told us. Oh man, they're all serial killer sandwiches except for the
don't eat
veggie.
Except for veggie.
And that sadly is probably the sandwich that I would order if I had to go to Subway. Subway's the worst.
Yeah, it's
of the Subway places. And that's what it's called. Like, it should be the best.
I know. I burnt myself out on it because...
You burnt yourself on a cold sandwich.
I know. It's just that when I first got out of college, I had a job there. I was traveling full time. And my first, during my training week, my boss was like, you're going to eat Subway so much that you don't think you can eat Subway again, but then you eat it again.
Oh, God.
Because... if you only have fast food options, you don't want to
pick that.
Yeah, you don't. Well, you want to pick something that actually has some nutritional value instead of a burger and fries all the time. So she was right. We ate a lot of Subway, but then we also started being let's find a sub shop that's not Subway because it's it is the worst. All of them are better. Jimmy John's is better.
Aren't they the ones that make wasn't it there's some ingredient that's in yoga mats that's also in their bread? I don't think that's a myth.
I feel like that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not surprised because that is exactly what my yoga mat tastes like.
Oh, yeah. It also, when it gets hot, it smells like a Subway.
Yes. Oh,
that's what hot works smell like.
Oh, my God. I've heard one time somebody told me that this waxing salon that they went to smells like chicken soup. I don't know. What is that? Salty.
Yeah, smells salty.
You can smell salt. I know this because of every time someone else made the popcorn in my office where I worked, because it was kind of my thing. And then once in a while, somebody else would throw down into the machine and they would add so much salt that it would just sting the nostrils. Speaking of the ocean.
Yes.
Was that full circle?
Full circle.
I feel like it was.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good way to wrap her up.
Put down anchor, if you will.
Drop
it.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like an anchor. Dropping the kids off at the pool. No, not that.
Do you think on these kind of boats they have a toilet, but do you think it's just like
gross? Yes.
Out into the ocean?
Yeah. Yeah, gross. Gross.
And fish poop in it.
I'll bet you there's fish that gobble it up.
Oh, yeah. If there wasn't fish or algae or something that ate the poop, the ocean would just be poop.
Right? Oh, God. That is so disgusting. On that note, everybody loves flickin' beans. Love you.
Okay, love you. Bye.